Daniel.
Yeah, hi, Coach. Coach Cal hasn't had a start like this in league play in a while. I guess just from your vantage point, just how has he handled maybe going through, coaching the team as they're struggling?
Great question. And I will answer that this way. You're not identified by as a leader when things are just good. You're really identified leadership um, is when things are swirling, when things aren't great. How are you leading? And I think Coach Cal has done a great job of trying to show these young people, because the same goes for them. The same goes for DJ Wagner. The same goes for Adu Thero. The same goes for John L. Davis, and it goes for Jonas Adu. Leadership isn't just one-sided. When things are good, we all hunky-dory. When things are bad, how do we lead? Do we give up? Do we fight through? Do we keep a positive mindset? Coach Cal has done a great job of trying to do whatever it takes to inspire these kids to play confident, tough, and know that it's not the end of the world. We can fix this, but we have to make adjustments to how we approach it. It's not going to be easy because we're playing great teams, but we can do it, and we have to do it, and we have to approach it in a way that we're not looking defeated. And Coach Cal has been very positive with this team and with the staff as well.
Eric.
Coach, there's a couple of things in there that seem to be like running themes with the team right now. Things that Coach Calipari said. And first thing I want to address is the physicality, which obviously you guys have the size in the front court. You've got the athleticism to do it. But when you're not seeing your guys be physical, what are the things that you're doing in practice, or what are the things that you're telling them? And can you actually make somebody be more physical when they haven't been?
Well, I can say it like this. Physicality is not built on just how big you are. A lot of it is, are you playing low? Are you in a stance? Are you attacking the guy from a low position? Are you ball watching when the ball goes up? Are you going to find a body in a stance where you can hit him before he hits you and move him away from the basket? And if you're standing straight up and erect and he hits you, you know where you're going, out of bounds. In this league, these guys you're right, we're not 270 pounds and big, strong. We're lean athletes with Z being one, TB being another. But if they play lower and then attack the guy that they're attacking, then they would have success. And we are working on that, and we've been talking about that.
The other thing that you mentioned, and it was specific to Nelly, but Coach Cal had mentioned this, I think, a couple of press conferences ago about guys getting lost in themselves when they're not having success on offense. And you mentioned there's so many ways that you can affect a basketball game. So when guys get to that point, obviously it becomes somewhat of a psychological game. What are you saying, or how are you approaching them? How do you get them to understand it's a team game, and that there are other things that they can do, and that if you're having a bad night shooting, there are other ways to overcome it and actually be successful?
The greatest players in the game aren't identified by makes and misses of the jump shot. If you live by the jump shot, you're probably going to die by the jump shot. Great scorers, the guys that put the ball, and I'm just talking shooting first to answer your question. Great scorers attack the basket. They use the jump shot to set up other things. Great teams, when the three ball isn't going, they throw it in the post. That's first. So the mixture of how you score baskets, sometimes teams come out and they miss 3 threes in a row. A player missed 3 threes in a row, 5 threes in a row. Should he take the 6th one, or should he try to get fouled and get free throws and get a rhythm? Or should he take a 2 or a layup? those are one thing. The other thing is in a team game, we have to be more in tune to what it takes to win the game. And what I mean by that is that, okay, if you're not making jump shots, are you rebounding? How about are you talking? Are you in the low hole spot when you're supposed to be? Are you taking a charge? Are you making good passes? Are you making good cuts? How about your screening? The dynamics of winning a game is so many small things that add up to be big things, and it translates to winning.
Jackson, wrap us up, please.
Sure, Kenny, after the Florida game, Cal told us he would maybe think about playing more minutes with Jonas and TB. He liked what that lineup did against the Gators, but he didn't really dive headfirst into it against LSU. Just what are some of the pros and cons, and what you guys debate about playing that lineup maybe a little more?
Well, first of all, I think when you look at it is we're starting games pretty good. We're the first 5-6 minutes of our games, the last 2 or 3 games, we've had a lead. And then after that 5-6 minute period, there's a lull. And so that's one thing why would you change the lineup when you're 2 games you were 11, the score was 11-4 or 10-2. The other piece to that, why would you change the lineup is you're giving up 15, 16, 17 offensive rebounds to teams. So the big lineup may negate some of that. And as coaches, you have to be able to make adjustments to things and see if they work. And if they work, you stick with them. So that's where we are in this. We're tossing everything on the wall as we should, see what works, trying to figure out the combinations to where, 1, we handle this rebound situation. 2, we don't want these lulls in the game, these empty possessions on offense, and these 3 or 4 minutes of defensive lapses where we play good D and then they come up with the ball. So we're going through all of that, and those are the pluses and minuses of it. It's not like it's a 40-minute game and we're playing bad for 40 minutes. It's 7-8 minutes of a game that's really hurting us that we got to clean up.
And whether the lineup's big or small, TB made 2 threes against LSU. He's been a stretch 4 in the past. Is that something maybe you guys I know beginning of the year, Cal wanted him attacking the basket, but can that be maybe an X factor for y'all moving forward? And are you trying to encourage him to be a little bit more aggressive on his shooting?
I think TB is an X factor for us without the threes. I think TB is a unique player that has a lot of energy. He's gaining confidence. You can see it. He's unique with us because he can guard anywhere on the floor. He can go get balls above the rim, rebounding. He can shoot the 3, but he also can pass. We need his energy. We need him to play a little bit tougher. But he's a very good player, and he's vital to what we need as a team to take this to the next step and start winning games.
And last one for me, I think he's Missouri's 3rd leading scorer, but it feels like a lot of the offense kind of is based off Caleb Grill's spacing and what he can do from 3 and opening up stuff. I mean, how high is he on the scouting report? How much of a challenge is it maybe for your team? Like, this guy's only averaging 12 points, but he's got to be kind of a focal point for the defense.
No question. When you talk about a guy that shoots the 3 like that, and it's not just like he's a spot shooter, he moves well without the ball to get open. He sets great screens, which creates a gap, and then he flies off those screens to get threes. He cuts hard. And if you tag too long and you get off of him for a second thinking you're stopping a lob, he's open for a 3. So he is high alert for us. And we know that we have to have high hands early. And again, I'll say this, not just him. The last 4 or 5 games, they're averaging right at 10 threes a game. That's pretty good.